Hello, what is a paragraph, I hear you ask? Well, it is a group of sentences, or it could be one sentence, that is presenting a writer's idea. Paragraphs normally present a single idea. For instance, you could write a whole paragraph about the benefits of owning a cat. Next, you could start a new paragraph as the topic has changed, and you could write about the benefits of owning a dog. There are introductory, main body and concluding paragraphs. Now this video is mainly about the main body paragraphs, but we do cover the introductory paragraph in a little detail later on. So paragraphs need to be structured well so that they are easy to read and that they flow logically from one paragraph to the next. Think of paragraphs as a set of traffic lights. A paragraph is made up of three parts. Firstly, you have the topic sentence. This is the red bit. It's very important as it tells the reader what the paragraph is about. Now the bit in the middle, which is yellow here, is where the supporting sentences are. These sentences tell the reader more about the topic or the idea that the writer is writing about. Lastly, and not all paragraphs need one, especially if the writing is more informal, is the concluding or closing sentence. This is the green bit. This helps the writer to end the paragraph by restating the main idea, basically helping the reader to understand what the main point of the paragraph was and finishing it off. So let's look at a paragraph. Can you spot the topic, supporting and concluding sentences? So here is your paragraph. Have a read of it and see if you can identify the topic, supporting and concluding sentences. I'm going to pause the video now and then we'll come back and have a look at your answer. So did you identify that cats make wonderful household pets is the topic sentence? It tells the reader that the whole paragraph is going to be about why cats make wonderful household pets. Then we have the body of the paragraph. These are all the supporting sentences because they provide extra information about why cats make wonderful household pets. In this section, this middle section, you can include information and detail, for example, facts, statistics, quotes, examples, opinions, and so on. And finally, we have, we have the concluding sentence that wraps up the paragraph and lets the reader know that this paragraph is finished. And really, this concluding sentence is restating the topic sentence. Now, the ideal paragraph, you should be able to swap the topic and the concluding sentence around and the paragraph still makes sense. Next, to help with the flow of the paragraph, we use discourse markers, also known as transitional devices or just plain old linking words. These words help the writer glue the sentences together. They help with making the text logical. Have a look at the discourse markers that I have included. They're in purple. Do they help with the flow? Do they provide the reader with some direction? So I'm going to pause the video now, have a think about that, and we'll have a look at some answers. Yes, the discourse markers help with the flow of the paragraph. When you read the word firstly, you know automatically that more information is coming. It's just not going to be the one example. Also, when you read the word furthermore, you know that the writer is going to add another important bit of information. When you read the words for instance, you know the writer is giving you an example. And lastly, when you read words like overall or to conclude or lastly or all in all, you know you are coming to the end of the paragraph and the writer is wrapping up that paragraph. You can't then add any more information. all your supporting sentences, all the information you wanted to include is in the middle of the paragraph, in the supporting sentences. Your paragraph is now wrapped up and finished. However, the paragraph doesn't have to end here. You could provide a concluding sentence, this one, that introduces the next paragraph. Have a look at this concluding sentence. What do you think the next paragraph might be about? All in all, cats are great because they require very little attention. However, dogs make wonderful pets too. A slight change from the previous concluding sentence, but the next paragraph is going to be about dogs. The concluding sentence mentions the topic of the next paragraph and introduces the topic using a discourse marker, however, which tells the reader that a contrasting idea is coming up. Students often ask me when they should start a new paragraph. Remember that each paragraph is a new idea, but you can use the following idea to help you remember when to start a new paragraph. And it's called tip top. So what do these letters stand for? Well, the TI stands for time. So start a new paragraph for a different time period. P stands for place. So start a new paragraph for each new place. TO stands for topic. So start a new paragraph for each new topic, idea or subject. And lastly, we have another P, which stands for person. So start a new paragraph for each new speaker. If you would like to have a look at some more examples of discourse markers, here are some examples. So when you want to add some extra information, you can use the addition discourse markers. But if you want to add some contrasting ideas, you could use these. If you want to introduce the results of something, you could use these discourse markers, and so on. Before we finish, I would like to show you that a form that I use with my learners to help them understand the structure of a paragraph. This sequence chain shows the structure of a basic paragraph, but of course you could have more supporting sentences in the middle, more than the 4 that I've given you here. Most writing will require an introductory paragraph as well, as the introductory paragraph will explain to the reader what the entire text is about, not just one main body paragraph. Introductory paragraphs are a little bit different. For instance, have a look at the following introductory paragraph and see if you can tell the difference between that introductory paragraph and the one we've just written about cats. Children love to own a pet, but finding the right pet for the family is a hard task for any parent. This short leaflet will explain some of the benefits for owning either a cat or a dog. I hope you will find it useful. So this is an example, very simple example introductory paragraph. And as you can see, it introduces the whole text that's going to follow. And notice how the order of the following paragraphs is given in the introductory paragraph. You will read about cats before you read about dogs. Try to set out in the introductory paragraph the order in which the following main body paragraphs will be in. It will make it easy for your reader to understand what is coming up. So back to main body paragraphs and how to use the sequence chain. Decide what the main idea is for your paragraph and decide what you want to write about and produce a topic sentence. Let's have a look at an example. So if the title for your writing task was something like "It's important to have friends and a social life," Now you need to come up with some ideas for the body of the paragraph. You need to ask yourself, why is it important to have friends and a social life? So turn the title of your work into a question. Why is it important to have friends and social life? And do a little bit of planning. It doesn't have to be a lot of planning, but you need to have some ideas. And here are some bullet points that you could use, some answers. A social life gives you a break from everyday chores and work, or a social life will give you people to talk to so you can discuss and resolve problems. So you've come up with 2 answers as to why it's important to have friends in a social life. Let's put these examples into the sequence chain. So here are the sentences put into the sequence chain. Remember that the sequence chain represents a whole paragraph, and these are just sentences within that paragraph. So we've got the topic sentence. It is important to have a social life. And then we've got our ideas, which were a social life gives you a break from everyday chores, and a social life gives you people to talk to so you can discuss and resolve any problems. So we could stop here now with this paragraph. As long as I include a concluding sentence, and the paragraph will be complete. But actually, I would like to provide some more information about this. Maybe some more details, some facts or statistics, quotes, examples or opinions. I want to say something about having that break from everyday chores. And I also would like to say something more about, the people that you can talk to, and the importance of resolving problems. So I'm going to produce another sentence to go in this square and another sentence to go in this square. They will provide further examples. So I'm going to type that in and we'll have a look. So I've provided some extra information for those 2 initial sentences. And now we've got, you could finish work at a reasonable time and meet friends for a meal. So I've provided this as an example of taking a break from your everyday chores. And then I've extended the sentence about resolving problems to, according to the mental health charity Mind, people who meet up with friends have a reduced risk of depression. So I've provided extra information, some more detail, and that could be facts, statistics, quotes, examples or opinions, etc. Now I need to conclude this paragraph by writing a concluding sentence, which is going to be the rewording of the topic sentence. So I've written, being able to socialise is essential. If I were to swap that with the topic sentence, the paragraph should still make sense. Being able to socialise is essential. A social life gives you a break from everyday chores. You could finish work at a reasonable time and meet friends for a meal. A social life gives you people to talk to so you can discuss and resolve any problems. According to the mental health charity Mind, people who meet up with friends have a reduced risk of depression. It is important to have a social life. So that is quite a strong paragraph. But what I'd like to do is try to glue the sentences a little bit together so the flow is smoother. So I'm going to use some discourse markers. So pause the video, I'm going to put them in and we'll have a look at what I've included. I've included some discourse markers. It is important to have a social life. Firstly, a social life gives you a break from everyday chores. For example, you could finish work at a reasonable time and meet friends for a meal. In addition, so I'm adding to my reasons why I think it's important, a social life gives you people to talk to so you can discuss and resolve any problems. For instance, so I'm giving an example, according to the mental health charity Mind, people who meet up with friends have a reduced risk of depression. And this linking word overall tells the reader that the paragraph's coming to an end. Overall, being able to socialise is essential. So discourse markers help to glue the sentences together in a paragraph. Lastly, it's important to lay out your paragraphs correctly. You can either indent each paragraph, for example like this. So you go in a few spaces and write your paragraph like that. And the next paragraph would start here. Or alternatively, you can leave a clear line between your paragraphs. So this is paragraph 1. Then you leave a clear line and then start paragraph 2. Leave a clear line, paragraph 3. Whatever you decide, just ensure that it is consistent throughout your writing. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found this video useful.